Hello everyone, today we'll be solving yesterday's Leetcode problem 3201. Okay, hmm, so you're given a subsequence, like, okay, you're given an integer array nums, and we have to return the longest subsequence wherein the sum of any adjacent numbers is even. Okay, so, okay, and the length is always or more. Okay, so how can we solve it? So how do we choose? So we can, let's say we have the numbers 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Here we have to ignore 1 and then choose all the other 4 numbers. Hmm. Let's say we have a number, we can either select it, or if it's the first number, we can either select it or not. And then if it's in the second number, if it's valid, we always select after the second one. So only the first number, we either choose it or we don't. So, okay. So the first number can either be or an odd number or an even number. And the sum should always be even. So we can either have one odd, okay, so it's, okay, sum is always one. My bad. Say one, one, two, three, five. Okay, so we select the first one. Okay, it doesn't have to be even or odd. The, the sum of these two mod 2, so the sum of that should be, should be, if it's even, then the sum of this also should be even. So the sum of adjacent elements. Okay, the sum of adjacent elements should either be both even or both odd. Hmm. How do we solve this? Yeah. So let's say we have pass in the first index, then we have to pass in if it's an even number and odd number. So even or odd. Then we also pass in the sum. No, we don't pass the sum. We either pass whether it's a zero or one. So it's just zero. If the sum or two is an even or an odd. Okay. It's one, and then you have one. Okay, we don't need three. One and then two. Okay. Then with one again, we have three, and two is not valid. So we have three, and with two we have one plus three, four, one plus one, two, one plus two, three. Hmm. Is there any instance where we just ignore the number one and we don't use it? Let's look at the test cases. So here one, two, two hits the whole thing. No, not the whole thing. One, two, one, one. Hmm. Has to be one, one, and then two. The parity of these three. Okay, if it's either even, even, odd, or odd, odd, even, that means you cannot take all three of them. You only have to take two of them. So, say this is an odd number. You can either choose, okay, we can choose anything, even or odd, and then we also pass in the sum, which is three. Sum that is also odd. So that means we need an order. Odd, even, odd. Okay, if the sum is odd, And we need the opposite parity. If the sum is even, we need the same parity. If it's of length 2, we select it. Which is okay. So let's just simplify the nums having only having ones and zeros, and let's call it 1 if it's an odd number. So I mod 2 for I in nums. Okay. And now let's define our helpers, a recursive function where we need the index, the element, whether it's an even or an odd, or this uh, some parity. Let's call S bar, and then C bar. Okay. So, hmm, okay. So we either choose one number or we don't. So first of all, if and we also need how many numbers we have, right? The length of it. So the length, and we have to return the length. Um, so if I guess radius are equal to 10, then we will return. um, hmm, Okay, so we Don't need the function to return it. Okay, if not, um, so we have equal of idx. If let's say cut pass is equal to uh, nums of I. So if it's an odd number, previous pair, let's go. So if previous plus cut pass, if it's the same, right? So, but if it's an odd number plus an even number, so if they're different, three pair not equal to C pair. If they are equal, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the first element we either choose it or we don't. And after we have the first two, they either all have to be even numbers or one odd number, one even number, one odd number, one even number, or all odd numbers. So I can have three, uh, I can just have three loops, right? I can just have three loops. So wait a second. Its previous is equal to uh, nums of I. And initially, let previous be equal to -1 or uh, okay, so there was an issue with my mic, sorry. And now, right, and now, what was wrong with my microphone? Okay, so we have three integers, m1 equal to m2 equal to m3 equal to 0, and previous is equal to -1. So whenever the previous is uh, different, that means one even, one odd. So we add that and we return the maximum. Yeah. Okay, so 16 and 64. Oh, it's M1. I wrote 1 by mistake. I right. Should be fine now. Yeah. Thank you for watching.